Can We Trust Big Data by Samantha Zumwalt. So the summary of this case study, it was about how companies are using big data to collect information on their customers or related to their product and service. This information helps them to be better informed on statistics related to their company or their purpose that they're trying to reach by using this data. Big data is very helpful to companies when they're informed and specific about their problem and purpose, and it also has it also has limitations, and it's not always accurate, and it's not always right for every company. What business benefits did the companies and services described in this case achieve by analyzing and using big data? So, some of the benefits were they better serve their customers, they can give their customers a better, more effective experience with their product or service, and it makes it easier for these companies to efficiently achieve their business goal. And it can also make things a lot easier for customers and give customers a lot easier access to information. Identify 2 decisions at the organizations described in this case that were improved by using big data and 2 decisions that were not improved by using big data. So some of the things that were improved was big data. It gave fast access to more information. So for like the case study was talking about, it makes searching for flights easier for customers because the app that was described had pulled up a list from over 300 different sources and gave them in a list to the customer. It can make a product more personalized to the customer, such as Spotify, and they used the data collected by each individual customer to make it more personalized to what that customer liked. But some of the things that it didn't improve was it can cause a distraction from the right information, or it can be misleading. For example, in the case study, a business was trying to find statistics on how many people had the flu, and so they used the flu searches on Google, and it was double the actual statistics of how many people had the flu. List and describe the limitations to using big data. So, without being informed on the defined issue that the company is wanting to solve, big data will not be helpful to the company. It can misinterpret information, and it can contain biases. Should all organizations try to analyze big data? Why or why not? What people, organizations, and technology issues should be addressed before a company decides to work with big data? So no, I don't think every company should use or analyze big data. Only companies that have defined business goals should use big data. According to this case study, swimming in numbers and other data doesn't necessarily mean that the right information is being collected or that people will make smarter decisions. Basically, before deciding to use big data, a company should specify what outcome they want from the data that is going to be collected. And it's also smarter for companies to start off with smaller projects before jumping into just randomly collecting a large amount of data. The company should have some knowledge of the problem that they're working to solve. So some updates. I looked into some major companies that use big data and how they use it, and some of the most popular examples are Amazon, DBO, American Express, Capital One, General Electric, Miniflix, Netflix, Next Big Sound, Starbucks, and T-Mobile. And according to the site, Amazon uses the information they collect to improve customer relations, an area that many big data users overlook. And should all organizations try to analyze big data? Why and why not? Oh, that was another update. So I also looked into McKinsey and Company, and they basically just supported what this case study was talking about with how important it is to have a specified purpose before collecting random data. So this site says you have to start with the charter of the information. You have to be very specific about the aim of the function within the organization and how it's intended to interact with the broader business. So basically, this entire site just re-implemented what the case study talked about. A question to consider: can smaller companies still benefit from big data? Yes, the size of the company does not affect whether or not a company would benefit from big data. If the company has a defined issue and they have a purpose behind the data they are looking for, access to that information could help their company. And then I said to give a scenario where big data would not help the company. In this case study, gave an example where the company used data to record every Twitter mention of their business, and they didn't really do the right research of what data and what like servers were relevant to their sales, and this ended up being a waste of time and money and did not benefit the company or, positively affect their sales.